Another super sad story coming out today, guys. Of course, by now everyone should have heard about it. We have had a death of a Garda, called Kevin Flatley at a checkpoint. And here today we have the commissioner talking about it. Of course, it's super sad, guys. I fully respect the guards. They have a super hard job. People in the past have said that they're disgruntled with the Gardaí, the police, and that's how they conduct business. But for the most part, guys, every guard that I've come in contact with has been very fair. Especially in the countryside, especially in the west, and obviously in the east it can be a little bit different. There's city police. It's a little bit, maybe more heavy-handed. But in the countryside, it seems like there's still more sort of community and community officers and that kind of thing. And yeah, super sad. So this Gardaí has been a guard for 26 years, obviously helped serve the people, and all he was doing was conducting a simple traffic stop. But we're going to hear about how they're going to try and pass in new laws because of this, and reset the whole driving system, the whole system of learning and how people teaching driving lessons, and of course people doing all sorts of different traffic violations as well at the end of this video, because a new article just came out a few hours ago. And yeah, let's tune into this one, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts down below. Leave some RIPs, guys. It's crazy to see. We don't really have many Garda deaths ever. The last time was when Steven Silver shot and killed that detective. He took his gun from him. Shooting's the odd time, but we don't really ever hear about Gardaí getting killed in the line of duty. So it's actually a crazy story. So let's hear it.
As Commissioner, I have to say this is a desperately sad day for Garda Síochána. Really, our most deepest sympathy to the family of Kevin Flatley, to his wife Una, and to his children and his extended family, including his parents. Kevin today was performing his duty as a roads policing member. He's been engaged in roads policing from 2018. He's a very professional and proficient officer. He was engaged in duty to prevent speeding, and he was involved in the detection of speeding on a road known as the R132, the old N1, as you travel north towards Balbriggan. And really regrettably, a collision takes place. He's struck by a motorbike and subsequently then dies from his injuries.
So absolutely crazy that a motorbike, obviously the motorbike was going quite fast. We don't know who the perpetrator is. The news won't release that. Was he, a guy new to the parish, as they say? Was he someone, and I shouldn't be laughing, it's a super serious case, but it's like, it's almost comical at this stage that the people that the Gardaí should be protecting, the citizens, the people that have passports here, are now kind of, getting into a lot of trouble, with stabbings, with this, now people are driving crazy motorbikes. Like, God knows what's going on, guys. There's no sort of clarity, there's no sort of transparency in the media to tell us who hit into him. Was it a white guy? Was it an Irish guy? We don't know, guys. You know what I mean? So, it's just crazy.
And this is a terrible loss for us all, but all of us acknowledge how heavy a blow this is on his family. And I'd just like to say, Kevin has been a very faithful public servant. He has served in Garda Síochána for 25 years, and prior to serving with roads policing, he served as a community officer.
Unreal.
In the Blanchardstown area, and was well known and well liked there, and indeed well known throughout the organisation. Obviously then, the investigation is ongoing. I visited the scene and I could see myself just the extent of the debris field and the vehicle in situ, etc., the motorbike in situ, the Garda vehicle in situ as well.
And supposedly the guy who was driving the motorbike died as well, or they said he was taken to the hospital with injuries but didn't pass away. So yeah, crazy.
Investigations carry on. We would be particularly interested in the movements of a large motorcycle, a Yamaha R1, it's a 1000cc motorbike. Really after 12 noon today. This collision happened approximately 12:50, and we're very interested then for anyone who might have sighted this vehicle and who may have recorded dashcam footage. We've already received a lot of assistance from the public in terms of witness statements and also CCTV and dashcam footage, and that appeal is still ongoing to inform our investigation.
That's crazy. And so they don't know what happened. He might have lost control. He might have done it on purpose to kill the guard. Like, we don't know, guys. This is all speculative information. But supposedly the Gardaí also have, dash cams as well on their, police vehicles to like monitor what's going on, type of thing. So
to this collision and indeed this incident. And I'd also like to thank members of the public. I'd like to thank other emergency services, and also like to thank an off-duty doctor who came immediately to the aid of Kevin, and all assistance that could be rendered was rendered as quickly as possible, but tragically to no avail, and Kevin passed away. I'll take a couple of questions, but obviously we're at the very early stages of this investigation. If I might pass over to Paul. Paul's the IC for Roads Policing and DMR.
So Kevin was a 49-year-old man, 26 years service in Garda Síochána, well regarded by his colleagues, very much involved in his own community where he lived out in Balbriggan, local GAA club, and very well liked person, very well respected, and a huge loss to our Garda family today.
Yeah, and to the community. If this guy had a great liaison with the different people in the community, it's super crazy and super sad to see, guys. But that is unfortunately like the police have such a tough job, like to actually monitor and like police these roads. It's just crazy. I think after lockdown, lads, it's just gone insane. If you guys are driving, I've been driving since I was 17 years old, 18, and like last 10 years it's gotten insane. The last 2 years everyone is driving super fast, super flipping uncoordinated. People are driving way too erratically. It's insane. I actually nearly died last year, guys. A car was coming at me like 250 miles an hour around a corner, like insane, 250 kilometers. It felt like 400 kilometers, 250 miles an hour. It was insane. I didn't have time to swerve or stop. It was the craziest thing ever. He just narrowly missed me. And there was actually Gardaí in the village that I live in, and he just drove straight past me and nothing ever supposedly happened to him. So absolutely insane. Now let's talk about something else here. So it says Drew Harris calls for societal reset on road safety. So what does that mean, guys? A reset in society. Sounds very ominous, guys. Okay, sounds very ominous. For those who don't know, whenever there's some sort of a false flag attack or there's some sort of tragedy, and this isn't a false flag attack. False flag attack would be planned by their own people. But whenever there's some sort of tragedy in the state, in the US, let's take for example when 9/11 happened, they used these tragedies to usher in laws and draconian laws, crazy laws to suppress the freedoms of the people. Okay, like they brought in the Patriot Act so they can invade the privacy of the American people. Same in Ireland. If they're going to try bring in some new laws here, I bet it's going to invade the privacy of the people. That's what they do, guys. They say, okay, something terrible happened, we have to now take away your freedoms, when in reality nothing should happen, guys. They should just be tighter on the laws. If a guy gets caught drunk driving, jail for 3 or 4 or 5 years or something. He said, so there needs to be a real reset and rethink about how society on our road is managed. Okay, not really much yet, guys, but he said, yeah, there needs to be a societal return. What does that mean? Leave your comments in the comment section down below. I think that they're going to try and pass some new laws, to try and curtail these sort of freedoms that we have on the roads. Maybe make the tests harder, make the NCTs harder. Something is going to happen from this. When a death of a Garda happens, guys, it's huge. That is a huge deal, because we don't really have much murder or crazy attacks on our police force to the point where they get they're fatal, okay, or anything seriously bad happens to the Gardaí. But it's crazy to see this now, and the ushering in of laws is for sure going to happen. So be aware of that, guys. Okay, don't let any tragedies happen. Let people take away your freedoms, okay, unfortunately. But yeah, I hate to see that, guys. RIP to the Gardaí there, and much love to the Garda Síochána, okay, of course, as they go through that hard time, and hopefully that scumbag that hit into him, if it was on purpose or accidental, is caught and put in jail, guys, because you need to have consequences for these actions and these collisions. So I love you all, stay free, and I'll see you on the next one, guys. Peace.